You're rolling.
Ready, Nick? Yeah, Eric. Yeah.
Where's the camera angle of that?
All right, for us. Let's go.
Is that where you're gonna ride? Dude, welcome to the internet. Do you feel pixelated yet?
No, I feel high def, baby.
Dude, what do people want to talk about? Or what do people want to hear us talk about? The crushing weight of existence? Girl stuff, right?
I don't know. I don't ever presume to know what people want to be talking about. So I'm not. That's why I'm not a great internet person.
Everybody, this is funny. You're Brittany. I'm Whitney. Welcome to the one day of the Brittany and Whitney show. And we're out here because I had a rough weekend and my channel's blowing up, and I just want to make content that's fun.
Yeah, and we just need to get a ride in also.
We also just need a ride before it rains. Is it supposed to fucking rain today?
I don't know, but we usually get a little tickled on, and like some of our rides, we usually get a little pissle from the sky.
Fine, let's go get little. What did you call it? Pickled on?
Pissle. I don't know, Whitney. What do people want to hear us talk about?
Dude, I want to hear about your fucking trip to Trail of the Dragon. Tail of the Dragon?
Something like 318 turns and 11 miles. And it was a very challenging ride. I went with my dad and his friends. This is a bunch of Harley dudes whose politics I don't agree with, and that's only relevant for the story because it involved a lot of me being coached by like a guy. Every time we would stop, he would offer me unsolicited riding advice.
Yes.
My little brother was with us, my younger brother, and I have way more riding experience than him, and he was all over the place. When you're riding in a group, you need to like discuss how you ride, your formations. So this big group of Harley people, my brother and me, and every time we stop, this guy walks over, gives me pointers, and my family knows me. And so this guy waddles over and everyone just holds their breath and is like watching this guy tell me how to ride a motorcycle. And everyone's just like waiting, and they expected me to kind of, give him some sass about it, which I wasn't gonna do because I love to learn. Like, I don't mind being taught.
Dude, we gotta pull over real quick because I can't fucking hear you. You keep like dissipating into staticky nothingness.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Here.
Why is this happening when it was like you were fine all the way? And I so badly want to hear this story. It's like, what the fuck?
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah. Also, what is that?
That's a little clock. It's just a stopwatch. It doesn't work anymore.
Did you glue it there?
No, it was here.
Hold on. Is that stock? I feel like I'm in a weird dream right now.
No, it's the guy that I got my bike from put it on.
It fits so nicely.
I know, it does look like it's supposed to be there. I always feel like maybe if I fidget with it, some kind of like bat cave thing will open somewhere.
I literally feel so strange looking at that. I've never seen that before. That makes me feel funny.
I ain't your average motorcycle rider.
Yeah, what the hell? She's got to see what time it is. Oh God, who am I calling? Dude, I'm going to call 911 again. Hey guys, can you help me with my cardio?
Your cardio? You're having a heart attack?
No, my cardio. They're like, okay, that'll be $65,000. Gosh, what the fuck?
Can you hear me now?
You know what? Yeah, I can hear you. I give up. All right. So this Harley dude would waddle over to you and give you riding advice, and he would say, okay, Britt, you gotta stick your butt out and lean over more.
Here's the best thing I can tell you, babe, is if you just go on and get a breast enhancement.
We need you to get bigger tits in order to ride better. And you're like, okay, sign me up.
It's about balance, you see, and your balance, you're just way too twiggy. No, I was saying, I do, like, if someone has advice for me, I want to hear, I love to be a better writer, but it became clear at a certain point that it had very little to do with my writing skills. It was a complicated feeling because we were riding the tail of the dragon, which for me as a commuter writer was incredibly challenging. So I was like, okay, this guy's going to give me tips, which I definitely need because this is terrifying. But also I think it's because I'm a woman, and it was a very confusing feeling. It's like I'm just going to listen to this guy and process my emotions later because I just need to not die on this fucking mountain.
Yeah. Was it a lot of hairpin turns?
Yes. And so it's a bisected road. I mean, it's like two-way traffic on a mountainside. So if you don't get your turn tight and at a correct speed, you've got a fucking Corvette coming at you down the mountain and a cliff on your other side. And it was like high stress for me the whole time. I think there was one moment where I was able to feel a little more secure, and I think I enjoyed maybe like a total of 20 turns both ways because we went up and then back down. So like 40 turns out of 636.
That's not bad. I mean, I guess you enjoyed some of them, right?
Yeah, those moments were very, oh man, incredible. It was just so heavily trafficked. Like anything worth seeing, worth doing, anything that calls to your sense of adventure, it was fucking packed.
Oh.
So many turns have photographers. The rest of the turns are like paramedics waiting.
It's alternates. It's either a paramedic or a photographer or both.
Yeah. So you're like afraid for your life. Do I look good? Afraid for my life. Do I look good? I definitely think I'm a better writer for it. But I don't know. Only because if you can survive that, then riding around in traffic, riding on this beautiful ride that we're on right now, like I have so much more confidence. Like Whitney, when you and I first started writing, I mean, I was a low confident writer because I do most of my writing by myself. So whenever we started writing together and you spend so much time around motorcycles, I was like, okay, like I don't want to embarrass myself. I really absorbed a lot of your confidence.
You did? Are you? Why? You come on. You don't have to say this in front of the camera.
Listen, audience. No, I'm serious. Like writing with someone else who isn't going to be critiquing you, like I think another reason why I didn't enjoy my time on Tail of the Dragon was that this fucking guy was just behind me and I could feel him watching my technique.
That's no fun.
And I couldn't go fast enough to outpace him, and he was behind me in the group configuration. So I really wonder how much more I could have gotten out of that ride if I hadn't had this person coming over to me every break we took to be like, your posture, here's what you need to be doing here, here's what you need to be doing here. And I could just feel him watching me the entire time. So like writing with you, just writing with someone who's there to have fun, who isn't trying to prove a fucking point, who just wants to be out in like whatever beauty on a bike is just really like life-giving.
It is really hard for some people to understand that though. They're like, well, why aren't you going fast? You're like, I don't know, because I'm here to have fun.
Yes, and if that's not fun to me, I like a challenge. Like, I do enjoy a challenge. It's how you grow. But fuck, I'm not I'm not looking to be stressed all the time. That's why I'm out here with you. Like, this was a stressful week. I just want to do these little lopey turns with my buddy Whitney.
I like the size of my schlong. I'm not like out to prove a point, you know? Yeah, it's just like ride your ride. I don't give a shit what you do. And I was just telling you, like, at Yamaha Champ School, these are professional racers and they're so sweet. There's no like nagging about chicken strips or giving you shit or dick measuring. They're just like adapting to me and being so nice about it. And that's what's going to keep me in the sport, because I feel like a lot of people might have close calls or have negative experiences and they're like, fuck this, it's not for me. I don't want to do this anymore, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why motorcycle culture is dying. It's like, you can be a judgmental dick, but just keep it to yourself, you know? Like,
is motorcycle culture dying?
Yeah, I mean,
Tell me more about that.
I thought for sure that with the sales kind of going up, oh, it's got to be great, but then you never see another motorcycle on the road ever. Like, and it's weird because we're in Texas and it's like beautiful out here and we're on this nice windy road on a Sunday and no one's out here. So it's just kind of, you know, I don't know, dying. I think we can revive it, but it's also just a natural cycle of entropy, I think, too. It's like things ebb and flow. And
well, it seems like a catch-22 because there should be more motorcyclists out on this road, but riding in Texas is kind of dangerous. Like, it's a vehicle, it's a four-wheeled vehicle state for sure, and that I haven't gotten in a horrible accident is some kind of miracle. And
I know it is like a hyper fear-based loop, right? It's like, I don't have a motorcycle because I think it's dangerous and there's so many cars on the road, and then there aren't enough motorcyclists to naturally bring more awareness to like freeway riders and stuff, and then it just perpetuates. And America, you know, is built on post World War II fucking highway funding for sure, but I don't know, it's also, I was telling you, I was like, man, I think everybody should do a track day. Everybody, even if you're not interested in going fast, it's fun, it's safe, you learn more about yourself. You know, that matters for confidence.
And I'm super intimidated by the thought of going onto a track, even though what you said earlier, it's so much safer than any other riding that we do.
Oh, yeah.
But it is really intimidating because I don't want to roll up, I'm learning something new, and the person who's there to teach me isn't a good teacher. Like, that is the biggest fear. So hearing about your experience and how they were amazing teachers and really like learned quickly what you needed to learn, and that's the dream. But the fear of a bad teacher is so much greater than the hope for a good teacher.
Yeah, and it's also like really expensive to go to this school, but it's like, it's gonna affect your riding for life, you know? And then also too, you know what was so cool is I was telling them like, oh, I want to do another track day, and they're like, email us. If you have any questions, you can email us for anything. Like, they were just so helpful.
Wow. And we've had so many of these conversations on our rides about how you learning something and becoming a better motorcyclist is awesome, and then you're safer on the road. But there's constant analogy to real life. Like, I don't remember, I don't know if you'll remember this, but we went on one ride and I was like, we like pulled off my helmet. I was like, I just realized that I think if I could learn to trust this bike more, that I could learn how to trust people more. Like, I just, like, my skull blew off the top of my head. It was when you and I went to that MX factory out.
The girls' night to go ride dirt bikes?
Yeah, it was like my first time on a dirt bike, and like you just really have to trust the dirt bike if you've never been on one before. Like, oh, this thing wants to lean, like it wants to dig into the dirt. And I was like, if I could just trust this. So to the point of challenging yourself, like going out to a track even though you're scared of it, doing the tail of the dragon even though you're scared of it, is there's just all these connections, at least for me when I'm riding, that are being made about how I live my life, like how I connect and relate to other people.
Dude, that's what always brings me back to being passionate about motorcycles, is how it's 98% psychological. It's like, especially when you're on the racetrack, you are literally looking in a mirror, like at every fear you have and at every limitation. And that gives me a boner. I don't know why, but it's like, I'm here to figure it out.
And who thought, like, that was just such a bonus. My main reason for getting on a bike to start was that parking in this city is such shit. I'm like, I'm just gonna ride a motorcycle because you can park anywhere and it's way more fun. And I don't know, there's like all of these face value benefits to being on a bike.
Well, and your dad rode, right? So you kind of had like an in.
I was very fortunate that it was normalized as a way to get around, but it was normalized in a very... The act of riding was normalized, but the mentality, like I love my dad. He got me into motorcycles. He and I are very close. But whenever I hate riding on the back with him because his motorcycle is basically a lazy boy. Like they're blaring bad to the bone, and like you're just too comfortable on those bikes, man.
Dude, that sounds like a dream to me, though. I'm like, dude, give me a couch.
It is a fucking couch. It has like... Some of these motorcycles like are so cozy, and I don't know why that, because I'm not going on long rides ever. If I did like a cross country, that would be the way to go, right? But we were just doing a little tour around the hill country, and I was so bored. Like, if I can fall asleep, I'm not facing all of this shit. Like, I'm not having this psychological scouring that comes with riding that I enjoy so much. Wait, what's the coziest bike you've been on?
This is gonna sound so fucking funny. A Hayabusa. That was like the first thing I noticed about it. Was like, I was like, this thing is a futon. Cause it's really big, it's cushy, you're kind of like laying down on it, you feel like a big boat. And it's fast, but it's the first thing I noticed was how comfortable it was. I did sit on a brand new Goldwing. I think it was at MotoGP. They just had like some demo bikes out. I didn't get to ride it, which I really want to, but I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like you could crush miles in that thing, and you know, it would be great. So how was your time in Utah? So you had a dream. You're like, I dreamt that you and I rode dirt bikes in Utah, and then you're like, do you want to come with me? And I was like, if I had an extra fucking $800, wouldn't even bat an eye, because Moab is a dream.
It was... So I forgot that trip was because I had a dream. I had a dream where I was riding a dirt bike in this like really like alien landscape, and then I was like, oh man, I guess I should just do that now. And I found this company that I really recommend. If I don't know if you can, like, do you have like internet things where you can and can't talk about people? Whatever. There's a company called Ride Moab out in Utah, and Tyler owns it, and he was a fucking, talk about an amazing teacher. He was so supportive, and as I was riding, this is my second time on a dirt bike, and we're like all over Moab. We're going up and through mountains, we're through deserts, we're through scrubland. Like, I saw every terrain. And as I'm riding and getting more comfortable on the dirt bike, he's increasing the difficulty of the trails that he was taking me on.
That's awesome.
So, and we talked about it at length afterwards, and he was like, yeah, I mean, some people I have to just like keep on certain tracks. Either they're trying to go too hard or they're not comfortable. And so he's just watching. He was an amazing teacher and would pause. So like we would get to a point in our day, our little tour, where we're going to be on these tight dirt trails winding between pine trees up and down a mountainside, and there's bear claws in the trees from when they're scuttling up all around. Like it is beautiful. And before we get on these trails, he stops me and he begins to teach me this like different throttle technique. He's like, this is really useful for this terrain. And we get to another type of terrain, which is huge boulders. You're going down a fucking cliff, like climbing, your bike is climbing over giant rocks. And he's like, all right, here's how you do this. Here's how you do this. And it was amazing. In hard times since that moment, I was given the gift of these memories where I can like go high. Like when shit is rough, I'm like, I am on this mountain. I'm riding a dirt bike. I am in this place. There's pale purple flowers everywhere, and I am not dealing with what I'm dealing with now. So it gave me just these visuals and this experience that I can hide in.
Isn't it crazy that you can exchange money for that experience?
I know. I'm super fortunate.
That sounds amazing. Did you feel a little bit different when you got home from it?
Not right away. And it took me a while to realize like what I needed from that trip was the beauty of that landscape. There was no one around. It was just me and Tyler, and I couldn't have seen anything that I saw if I weren't on this tour, right, and able to be on a dirt bike and going through all this crazy terrains. I almost ate shit. Like I did
1,000 times.
So
yeah,
many
dude.
times.
Dude, that's just dirt biking. Dude, thanks for filming with me.
Yeah, I feel like I talked a lot. I feel like I talked a lot of shit too. I feel bad
Dude,
about
30 minutes. That is so crazy. Fuck yeah.
that. Wow.
I can cut out some of the shit talking.
Please. I feel really bad about that.
Dude, there's something that happens when you go motorcycle riding. It's like everything comes to the surface and it all comes out, and then you try to reel it back in.
What does it look like to hug?
we go like this. Let's touch cameras.
Oh, I love you, Whitney.